Have you ever been told that time heals all wounds? But then you get into the narcissistic relationship and you're trying to get out of it and you're trying to heal and you're trying to figure this out and you're like, this actually isn't healing. Like it doesn't actually seem this simple. Maybe you're struggling to break free from the toxic cycle and you find that lasting healing after leaving a narcissistic relationship seems almost impossible. What we find is people that have been with a toxic person for a long period of time start to think that maybe they can heal a little bit faster, or maybe they'll get better quicker, or maybe this will change because other people are saying, hey, this works out easier. We're going to talk through a couple different aspects of misconceptions about healing from narcissistic abuse and the abuse that happens in the relationship that messes with your mindset, that leaves you stuck in a trauma bond over a long period of time. If you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel providing awareness about narcissistic abuse. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations, the creator of the NARC app, and your guide in the 45-day clarity challenge to help you break free mentally and emotionally from a toxic person. Today, we're going to dive into a couple common misconceptions about healing. Maybe some things that you've judged yourself on, maybe some things that other people have said to you, and we're just going to clear the air to try to say, hey, this is how we can move forward, but we need to make sure you understand this is a misconception about healing that you might currently be struggling with. So, first and foremost, I want to be able to dive in that time does not heal all wounds. So many people think that if it's just time, if I just get away from this person for a period of time, then I will heal, then I'll be better. And so they go no contact, or they leave the relationship, or you continue moving forward in your life thinking that it's going to get better. Oftentimes jumping into another relationship thinking this will be fine, I will be okay. And you bring the same hurt, you bring the same pain into it, and you still struggle because you start to realize that just time doesn't heal all wounds. Oftentimes this phrase and idea is misleading when we bring it into the realm of narcissistic abuse. Because time can sometimes lessen the intensity of the emotional pain, it doesn't always guarantee that there's going to be full healing. I've talked with many people that have been away from their toxic narcissistic abuser for years, and they're still not healed. They're still struggling mentally and emotionally of thinking about that person, of ruminating if it was their fault. They've still struggled with the stress and the anxiety of different triggers that are in their life that are affecting them on a day-to-day basis. They still don't have the drive and the purpose and the intention that they used to have before they were with the toxic person, struggling with their confidence, with their clarity, not knowing who they actually are. Oftentimes this leaks over into how they parent. This leaks over into how you actually interact with other people, into how you actually work out and work on your own body and your own mental image. All these different pieces affect so much. Because people sometimes think time heals all wounds, but in reality, it doesn't. So what do we actually need to do? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But once you just understand the severity that if you only leave a narcissist and think time heals all wounds, understand that's not a guarantee. Just like going no contact isn't a guarantee that you're going to be healed from that person either. If we don't actually address the healing part, the effects of narcissistic abuse may continue a long term. I've talked to different people that have been away from a toxic person for 1, 2, 3, 5 years, and they still have the rumination. They still have the trauma bond. They still have the doubt in their mind. And it affects their next relationships. It affects their self-esteem, their confidence for a long period of time. If you're in this boat, please reach out for help because we want to be able to help you move forward with this. The other misconception that I want to bring up is that leaving is not the end of healing. Okay, with this aspect of just escaping out of the narcissistic relationship, it is a big step. It is a big step in your healing because it gives you the capacity to heal. The hard part is we need to capitalize on that. If you don't actually capitalize on that moment that you have away from the narcissist to heal, then oftentimes you will revert to going back to the toxic person. You will get into another toxic relationship. And the thing is, getting away won't actually help you heal. So many times people think if I just get free from this, then it'll be better. If I just get away from this, then it'll be okay. When in reality, that typically won't fix it. Just like going no contact, just like time, just like getting out of the relationship, it's not going to heal the wounds. It's not going to heal the things. You're like, well, this is how it did in my last relationship. If your last relationship wasn't narcissistic, it's a completely different ballgame in trying to work through the healing process. A lot of times when you leave, you still face the aftermath of the trauma. the emotional triggers, the fear, the self-doubt. Healing involves addressing these, working on the story you believe, building in healthy habits, changing that mindset. Because until we change that, you will still stay stuck. Okay, on a side note, you can watch all of my videos. You can watch all of Dr. Romney's videos, all of Lee's videos, mental illness. You can watch all the different people talking about narcissistic abuse. And you can get all the knowledge everywhere. And guess what? You can still be stuck. You could be free out of the toxic relationship, but still be trapped in your mind. You can have freedom from the toxic person, but you still be a slave to the thoughts, to the rumination, to the trauma bond, to the things that are happening in your head, being like, I thought I was over this. Just going no contact, just time, just getting out of the relationship, just getting to the place of saying like, hey, now I'm away from it, I must be okay. I know about narcissism, so now I'm going to be okay. None of that is going to save you. None of that is going to fix you. None of that is going to heal you. It might give you the opportunity to heal. The opportunity to have space, the way to be able to have capacity to actually allow healing back in. But just doing those things is the baseline of your healing journey. It is a journey. This is why we script it out for people of saying, hey, this is what you need to do first. This is what you need to do second. This is what you need to do third. Because without putting in habits and plans and direction of your life, building actual action plans out of this is what you're going to do, you will revert back to the same mindset, the same thinking, and go back to a toxic person or get with another toxic person because we haven't changed the mindset. We haven't changed the story. This is one of the most important things that you need to understand and misconceptions from people. Thinking, hey, if I do all these things, then I'll be okay. When in reality, nothing has actually changed. We've changed our circumstances, but we haven't changed always the thought process that will lead you back to a toxic relationship. Changing the story that you believe is the only thing that we see consistently breaking people free from the toxicity, because you start to move into a place where you wake up from everything that has happened in the relationship, and you start to realize that when you wake up, you also have the capability of changing your story, of changing the direction that your life is going to go, of actually getting you not just free from that person physically, but then free from them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to be able to move to a place of saying, hey, this is the person that I'm called to be. Some of you watching this right now are called in certain aspects of your life to stand as beacons of light to help other people, but you can't because you're stuck in limiting beliefs based on what the toxic person put on you. You're stuck without the self-esteem. You're stuck in the self-doubt, and you're like, this isn't what I'm supposed to do, but you're not sure how to get free. Even after you went no contact, you started to learn everything about narcissism, you got to the place where you weren't around them anymore, and you're like, hey, time is going to heal these wounds, but I need you to understand that's not enough. Because it still doesn't put you in the driver's seat of your healing, of your growth, and of your change, and does not provide the freedom that you're actually looking for. Being able to move into this space of changing the story you believe is one of the most powerful things we can help you with on a day-to-day basis. It's based in different learnings and teachings from multiple people around the globe that have learned how to be able to do this. Like, we bring in different aspects of almost like cognitive behavioral therapy, but you're doing it to yourself. You're not going to the therapist once a week and then having no support throughout the rest of the week. You're in a community that's actually helping you every single day. You're giving the tools so that when you get triggered, you don't have to write it down and wait for a week to talk to a therapist. You deal with it right then, right now. Like, you have the power to do this. We just come alongside and we provide the action plan, the tools, for you to be able to get free mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and not just physically get away and be like, whew, glad that's over. Because you still have the residual trauma that lives inside your body, that lives inside your mind, and that lives inside your heart. We have to be able to understand the challenge of getting away from a toxic person starts when you leave the relationship. But you can be free from the narcissist and not be free mentally. If you're watching this today, you're like I got away. I'm glad for this, but I'm still not connected to my purpose and my calling. I'm still not engaging the same way with my kids because I'm still getting triggered by past events. I'm still not growing and thriving the way that I want to go in my work and running my business and helping manage other people because I'm still stuck. Struggling with my self-doubt. I'm struggling with the limiting beliefs. I'm struggling with all this thought process because I'm still stuck. And this is what we provide help with. To give you the tools so that you're empowered to be free every single day. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. The question is, will you actually take that step to grow, change, and develop? You can start down that road by going to claritychallenge.net. 45-day clarity challenge to help you break free mentally, emotionally, spiritually, break the trauma bond, eradicate the rumination, reduce the triggers so that you continue to move forward in your healing, to take back your power of understanding who you are, and who you're called to be. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can go to rawmotivations.com, click on the one-on-ones. Would love to interact with you. Would love to talk to you even more, see if you're a good fit for some of our Thriver community, some of the progress that we're moving, and giving you the tools, the action plans to help you move forward in your healing journey to stand as a powerful person. Not powerful and domineering over other people, but powerful in knowing who you are. Being able to stand in your truth. Being able to stand and help other people. Being able to stand in your purpose and your calling and not let toxicity pull you to the side. If you want to know more about this, go to rawmotivations.com. If you're ready to take the first step in your journey, go to claritychallenge.net to help you understand how we start to break this down, how we start to get you free by giving you the tools for your own freedom.